All right, everyone, hello and welcome back to another video here with Wholeo Awakening and Thunder Dragon Neigong. And this time we're going to be looking at the monkey mind, one of the biggest challenges to modern world. And we're going to be talking about what it is, how to master it, why it's important. Well, before we begin, as always, be sure to like, subscribe, follow, whatever is applicable wherever you're watching this, and be sure and check out the links, especially to our website, where we have our classes, courses, consultations, and a wealth of other educational material. With that said, let's go ahead and jump into the article here. From Monkey Mind to Mastery, Xin, Yi, and Te in Internal Cultivation. We live in an age in which people are far more likely to emote than to think. Personal feelings have been elevated to the status of truth, while objective reality has been pushed aside. Postmodernism, essentially, if it is acknowledged at all. A person no longer needs facts, logic, or evidence. They need only to declare how they feel. And the modern world demands that everyone else treat that feeling as unquestionable reality. But we have to understand that this is not progress, this is regression. A society that is governed by fleeting emotion rather than reason becomes childish, unstable, and irrational. It produces individuals with poor attention spans, low tolerance for disagreement, and little capacity for self-control. People become reactive, offended, fragile, and incapable of disciplined action. They are swept about by the winds of mood and impulse like leaves in a storm. The internal arts, such as qigong, taijiquan, meditation, and Taoist alchemy, this condition has been described for centuries. It is not new, even though it's perhaps worse now than it's ever been in history. It's not a new phenomenon, it's always been there. So what is new is that modern culture now celebrates it. The problem is in the past, it wasn't ever celebrated, now it is. Because so many people are consumed in it that it's deemed normal. Uh, well, it's just like the health standards. If enough people are sick, then sick becomes normal. That's what we have here with this epidemic of emotional mental instability. But in the traditional language, this state is called being dominated by the Shin, which is the heart mind. This is what we often call the monkey mind. Just like how a little monkey is constantly looking everywhere and it can't hold its attention on anything for very long. That's how the people have become. The Shin, the emotional heart mind, and the monkey nature. In Taoist internal cultivation, the Shin is the emotional mind. It is the part of us that reacts instantly. It is quick to fear, quick to anger, quick to desire, quick to despair. It is easily distracted, easily overwhelmed, and easily manipulated. The Shin is often compared to a monkey, restless, chaotic, impulsive, constantly jumping from branch to branch. This monkey mind is not merely an annoyance during meditation. This is the thing that makes meditation so difficult for so many people, is that they're constantly being distracted by their thoughts. You can't sit still. But it's not merely an annoyance. It is actually the root of much human suffering. When a person is governed by Shin, they live in a constant state of reaction. They're constantly being pulled one way or the other. Their decisions are based on mood rather than principle. Their health is shaped by stress and anxiety. Their relationships are unstable. Their discipline collapses. Their attention is scattered. This is the psychological condition of the modern world. And from this state arises countless problems: chronic stress and nervous system dysfunction, anxiety and depression, compulsive behavior and addiction, impulsive decisions and regret, inability to endure discomfort, lack of consistency in training or work, physical tension patterns stored in the body. All of this comes from the shin, which, when left untrained, becomes a tyrant. But we have two minds. We have the shin, the emotional mind, the heart mind, and we have the yi, the wisdom mind, the steady workhorse. In internal cultivation, the solution is not to destroy the emotions. We don't want to do that. We want to have our emotions, but not be dominated by them. The solution is to put them in their proper place. The heart mind must be guided by something higher and steadier, which we call the yi. Yi is the wisdom mind. It's the faculty of clear intent, discernment, and disciplined attention. Unlike the shin, which reacts instantly, the yi observes. It analyzes. It chooses. It is calm, steady, and objective. Where the shin is a frantic monkey, the yi is traditionally seen as a workhorse, steady and reliable. It is diligent, practical, grounded, and committed. It does not sway with emotional weather. It does not abandon the path because it feels bored or uncomfortable or offended. It remains steady and it continues forward until the work is complete. This is why in qigong and taijiquan, intent is everything. The yi is not merely a mental concept, it is a functional tool. It directs posture, breathing, movement, and energy. Without yi, practice becomes empty choreography, just hollow movement. With the yi engaged, practice becomes internal transformation. This is why you can do the movements, but if you're not focused, you're not moving the energy within the movements, then the movements by themselves are empty. They're not profiting anything. A practitioner who strengthens the yi becomes capable of sustained focus, objective thinking, calm decision making, emotional stability, clarity under pressure, consistent training habits, deeper meditative absorption. This is the mastery of mind. So then, beyond the two minds, the shin and the yi, we have another important concept which is called zhe. This is the willpower, which is the root of discipline. Even the yi requires support. Wisdom without willpower is merely a good idea. You might know what's right to do, but do you have the ability to enact it? Do you have the ability to put it into action? Many people know what they should do, but they don't do it. They understand principles, but they can't apply them. They have insight, but no consistency. This is because the yi must be fortified by zhe. Zhe is willpower. It is determination, endurance, and inner resolve. It is the force that holds the line when the body is tired, when the mind wants distraction, when emotions demand comfort, and when circumstances become difficult. Zhe is what prevents the practitioner from abandoning training. It is what allows discipline to become habitual. It is what keeps one upright when the shin screams for indulgence. In internal cultivation, willpower is not a harsh suppression of emotion. It is the strength to remain aligned with purpose regardless of emotion. Again, we're not crushing our emotions. We're not doing away with them. We are putting them in their proper place and refusing to be led by them. Zhe gives backbone to the yi so that it can direct the shin. The proper order. Zhe supports yi, yi leads shin. This is the proper hierarchy of an internally cultivated human being. Zhe, the willpower, strengthens and supports. Yi, the wisdom mind, the intent, directs and governs. Shin, the heart, mind, the emotions, provides the energy and the passion, which is why emotions are important, to give us the passion to do things. When this order is established, the emotions are no longer destructive. They become fuel. Passion becomes productive. Feeling becomes meaningful rather than chaotic. The emotions are not eliminated, they are refined and harnessed. This is true internal alchemy, the transformation of raw, unstable forces into organized power. A person led by Shin is like a rider dragged by a wild horse. A person led by Yi is the rider holding the reins of the horse. A person with strong Zhe is a rider who never drops them, never quits, never gives up. Emotional worship, a modern path to disorder. As we said, modern culture has done something extremely dangerous. It has placed emotions on a pedestal. It treats emotional expression as a virtue and emotional discomfort as oppression. It teaches people to identify with their feelings as if those feelings were their true self, which is a grave error that has caused so many problems in modern society. So many derangements and disorders have arisen from this simple concept, to be identifying with a disability, identifying with an illness, identifying with a feeling, identifying with uh, some sort of arbitrary status that is put upon us, rather than identifying with our true inner self. Feelings are not the self, they are the weather. They change every minute. It's not where you want to anchor your individuality at. It's not where you want to anchor your identity. To treat them as sacred truth is a recipe for instability and derangement. A society built on emotionalism becomes irrational, easily manipulated, and perpetually offended. Look around. It loses its ability to think clearly, to build enduring structures, and to cultivate strong character. It is not compassion, it is indulgence disguised as morality. The internal arts reject this entire worldview. They insist on discipline, clarity, and strengthening of the mind. They teach that peace is not found by obeying emotions, but by mastering them. It doesn't matter how we feel. It matters how are we improving ourselves? How are we continuing the work? The alchemist's task, refining chaos into order. The alchemist does not seek to express himself. Think about that in context of our modern world. He seeks to refine himself. Internal cultivation is the process of turning chaos into order. The scattered mind is gathered. The reactive heart is stabilized. The nervous system is regulated. The will is strengthened. The entire being becomes coherent. This is not merely psychological improvement, it is physical transformation as well. Where Shin dominates, the body becomes tense, breath becomes shallow, energy becomes disordered. When Yi governs and Zhe supports, posture aligns, breath deepens, and Qi begins to settle and fill, which is vital for practice. The body reflects the mind reflects the spirit. All levels are connected. Thus, the mastery of Shin, Yi, and Zhe is not an abstract philosophy, it is the foundation of health. Becoming a cultivator in an age of emotion. To walk the path of qigong, taijiquan, and Taoist alchemy in the modern world is to resist the cultural drift toward emotional weakness. It is to become steady when others are reactive. It is to become rational when others are impulsive. It is to remain disciplined when others demand comfort. You have to be able to be in the world, but not of the world, as Christian scripture tells us. You can't conform with the suicidal path of this world. This is the path of true cultivation. Strengthen the zhi, refine the yi, harness the shin. And in doing so, the practitioner becomes what the internal arts were always meant to produce: a human being of depth, clarity, and power, an alchemist who transforms disorder into order from the inside out. So with that, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Again, be sure and like, subscribe, follow, whatever you need to do, wherever you're watching or listening to this. And check out the links provided for our website, where we have our classes, courses, consultations, and a wealth of educational material there for you. Everybody, take care, and we'll see you next time for another lecture.